Hey guys and gals, Shane Simmons here, and this next video takes place in Logan, West Virginia, which is the county seat of Logan County, West Virginia. And the town has took a pretty big hit population-wise from its peak. It peaked back in the 1940s. I think the 1940 census is a little bit over 5,100, and then 1950s it stayed around 5,000, and then it started to plunge after that, mainly at that point due to the mechanization of the coal industry, and then the decline in the fortunes of coal in general have really kept that downward spiral going. I think I saw an estimate recently where the population was probably a little under 1,500 now. So that tells you about a huge drop off. Over 3,500 people have moved away in the last 70 years, 70 plus years. So it's it's another area just so dependent upon coal that it really took a big downturn and didn't have ways of diversifying at that point in time. Still a lot of beautiful old buildings in the town and a lot of history there, so as I'll show you in a minute. And also Logan, early in its days, had a bit of an identity crisis. It was initially called Islands of Guyandotte, after the Guyandotte River, which it runs along through the town. Then it was called Lawsonville, after a man named Anthony Lawson, who was an early merchant there. Then it was called Lonsville, just shortened to that. Then it was called Aracoma, after a Shawnee chief Cornstalk's daughter. And then finally it was named Logan in 1907. And that's to honor the not Cherokee, but the Mingo leader of Chief Logan. So finally that's what it's stayed since then. So they settled on that one, and that's what it is known as today. Hope you enjoyed this look at Logan County, a hugely important piece of the coal history of Appalachia. And I'll let you get right to it and enjoy the video right now. Shane Simmons, the Appalachian Project, and I am in the city of Logan, West Virginia, in the county of Logan. And of course Logan is the county seat for Logan County. And this is, I was astounded to find out that the population here, as of 2010, was something over 1,700, because it has the look, feel, traffic, and everything else of a much bigger city than that. Tons of commercial buildings and so forth still stand. There's a lot going on, and so either that's the world's greatest optical illusion, or there's some population here that's not being counted, or I know there's a West Logan, so maybe that figure doesn't roll into there, but still, you can see this is a pretty big downtown area. We're just now scratching the surface of it. I don't know as much about Logan as some of the other places we visit. I didn't actually plan on being here today. Just a good fortune smiled on me. As you can see, there's a lot of older buildings still standing, and a lot of them are still being used, so it kind of gives you more of a vibe of, well, it actually even feels bigger than Bluefield. I know one time in the 40s and 50s, the population was over 5,000. So of course, like everywhere else, the coal mining business drove a lot of that. A lot of stories come out of Logan too. There was the haunted story of Mamie Thurman. That was always a good one. And it's called the 22 Mine Road. I might be having that backwards, but I think that's what it's called. We've done a couple posts on both of those. There's a hospital up here on the left, Logan Regional Medical Center. Just want to give you a little look-see around through here. I was here probably about 2 or 3 years ago, visiting with, interviewing down through here, and I really fell in love with the town. Actually, and to that end, I'm going to drop by Morrison's And have some of their more famous hot dogs here in just a minute. But I wanted to give you a little look at the downtown Logan area. I'll cut up through here. A good place to wrap it up will probably be up here at the high school. Got a nice newer building for the library and a really nice football stadium over here for the Logan Wildcats. We've got a World War II memorial coming up right here on the left. It's the high school on that. A little bit more to say. I'll have, of course, the city and the county was named after Chief Logan, the Mingo tribe, and we'll get into that a little bit more. Very interesting character. And that'll be a wrap for this video, but we appreciate you watching, and if you have the heart to subscribe to our channel, like, comment, and share on Facebook. We really appreciate it. It helps us grow and helps us get the word out. And a lot of people really like to see these videos. They're obviously done on the fly, but a lot of people like to see their old hometown and that type of thing. So I really enjoy hearing from folks, especially if you can fill in some of the some stories about the area and some of the history. I really loved last time I came. I really researched on the Mamie Thurman story. That was a really interesting horror story based on the true events. But that'll wrap it up now. And we'll see you at the next interesting spot down the road. Shane Simmons, the Appalachian Project, and I am in Logan, West Virginia. And I'm in a section, I believe it's pronounced Middelburg. It could be Middleburg, but I'm going to go with Middelburg. It just sounds better. More German or something. I don't know. Anyway, this is such a nice area. And then I'm going to go down Stratton Street here in a second, too. And it's just evidence that Logan, once upon a time, if not now, was an extremely affluent city. There's a lot of nice older houses. Primarily brick. And once we get across through here, start across this bridge, there's an older service station building, and it's funny, I've seen one very similar to it in Grundy and also in Welch, West Virginia, and somewhere else. Maybe seems like there's one on the road to Bramwell. But there it is, right across the road. That's that old style, quite fancy in its day. Again, this is a little bit more the residential area, and here coming up shortly anyway. But you'll see some really nice older houses. Hadn't been to this section of town before today, so this is really cool. Again, this is Stratton Street. Very typical. You got these really super nice homes with very small yards, and the reason for that was there's not, there was so much demand as this area was building up during the coal booms. There was a lot more demand for housing than there was land to build on. So you got these really small lots with super nice homes on them. So I guess you better like your neighbor. So if not, you're be a bad day. Just going to give you a little shot of that. It's a little more nice residential areas you'll see. It goes back a while. This looks like some really old school apartments. St. Francis of Assisi Catholic Church. I mean, those are notorious. You'll see tons of Catholic churches when there was a strong ethnic community. A lot of times you had a lot of immigrants that worked at these coal mines, and they would, you're talking about Italians, Hungarians, Polish, Russians, and the like. Ready to wrap this up and head on down the road to another destination.